You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, I got to tell you, for all the positivity I had to say about the UFL after the first couple of weeks, last night was not good. It was not a good look. It was not a good thing to have happen to a brand new fan base that obviously is fired up for this team, or was. The Louisville Kings nearly packed at nearly a 12,000 seat stadium. They basically put over 11,000 in there. And it looked real good on TV. It did. And in fact, we'll just start with the attendance because, boy, there's 11,082 sons of bitches that were disappointed by the end of the game. I guarantee it. That was the official attendance for the Kings and Storm game. It looked great in that stadium. They were fired up once again. And keep in mind, it was raining during this game last night, and a lot of people hung in there to the bitter end, and boy, they would be bitter. Unfortunately, the now most viral moment of the season for the UFL looks like a monumental fuck up. Excuse my language. They got nailed on a rule last night. This is where the game finished, 29-27, and it ended on a defensive penalty. You may be like, wait, what? Yeah, that would be the correct response. Wait, what? And look, you were like, you came into this game after the first half, you're like, is Louisville ever going to score another touchdown? Jason Bean ended up throwing 3 last night. Jack Plummer, 3 touchdowns. This was a very entertaining game. That the ending was a shit show. An odd UFL rule results in a Louisville penalty awarding the game to Orlando. They gave Orlando the game on a defensive holding / pass interference call. I think it was defensive holding. And basically what happened was the rule is, and it's an old XFL rule that came with the league, is if you have 2, and I don't know where the arbitrariness of this number comes from or how they even came up with this or even thought of this. I guess they didn't want the game to keep going forever. I'm sorry, I'm old school. When it comes to overtimes, either give each team a possession and then it becomes sudden death afterwards, or play another quarter. But quit doing these, we want hockey shootouts. I hate it in college. I hate that line up at the 25 and get in the end zone in college. I hate this. Stop it. Let's play actual football where there's kickoffs and all this kind of thing, right? So you can bet this rubbed me even more the wrong way. This is going viral. This was the ending. Let's just jump down. Okay. There's the first pass interference / holding call right there. It was against the Kings. Now, that one. That's the play I'm looking for. And that was the second one. You see defensive holding. And by rule, game's over. It ended right there on that play. And I was like, wait, what is happening? Did I just sit through this whole game and it just got decided on a defensive penalty where somebody literally did not score? Wow. To promote this atrocity of a rule is laughable. You just robbed every fan in Louisville who sat through rain for 3+ hours of a great ending, not to mention the thousands of fans watching at home. Why not just let the refs decide the winner on the coin toss next time? I mean, yikes. Being a UFL fan, seeing SportsCenter finally post a clip of the UFL, and it's the worst OT ending I've ever seen. Yeah. I'm kind of terrified this might destroy the league to some extent. Louisville's a great market. Fans braved poor weather to watch their winless team play. To have it end on a walk-off pass interference where no one knew what was going on, I don't know if they'll come back. People were mad. People were real mad. They lost me by starting 0-3, not by the game ending like this. I have no interest in watching a winless minor alternative league. Yikes. Yikes. Chiming in from Louisville, I can say with confidence that this has killed nearly all energy that this team had left. I mean, wow. What's even more ridiculous is the first PI that was called was an absolute joke. It was. In my opinion, it was a ball that was thrown. It was not a catchable ball. And I don't think they should have called it. It's the worst rule I've seen in any sport. But I think Birmingham suffered that last year too. I am a Kings season ticket holder. I will be back, and hopefully the crowd will be too. Terrible rule indeed. There's people that, look, the owner of the co-owner of the UFL had to address this last night. Fans don't like the rule. I don't like it either. I hear you guys. The rule has been in place for 3 years to prevent defenses from repeatedly committing penalties to stop a score and to protect players from injury after 3+ hours of play. It was a great game, intense, action-packed, and incredible, loud Louisville crowd. We owe our fans better. At least he acknowledged it. At least the owner acknowledged it. Look at this. How to lose a fan base in one play. Fans will appreciate you addressing it, Mike. Very tough way to end a game. Now, I don't know what will be done about this. I don't know if there will be a correction. I don't understand why we can't just play real football in overtime anyway. You know, again, each team gets a possession, then it goes to sudden death, right? And or play another quarter. There's been so much made about injuries that it's ruined a lot of football. Let's just be real. It's ruined a lot of football games. And I understand they don't want a game to go on forever. It is spring football. I get it. But you don't want a league where the competitiveness and the integrity is questioned. That's what you absolutely don't want. And that, I'm going to tell you, there are some threads out there, and we could keep going on some of these comments I was reading. A lot of these fans are like, I won't go back to another Louisville game. And that sucks because that team, that crowd that city had fully embraced that team. But it's like for no real reason, you end the game on a defensive penalty, you awarded the game. You cannot do that. You cannot award a damn game on a penalty. It cannot happen. And by the way, there are some weird rules like this in the NFL where a game could, if the referee wanted to. It's a official's preference, and if they ever do it, good luck. You better get out of town. But there are some official preferences where they could award a game over to another team based on penalties or something like that in the NFL. I've never seen it done. Like, who the hell is ever going to try that? In an era where people already believe that a lot of sports are rigged. And again, that first PI, that looked like some bullshit to begin with. If you watch the game, tell me what you think. Good crowd, hell of a game. It was a hell of a football game. And they robbed everybody at the very end. Peace, I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.